Good morning. Good morning. This is Charles Coachman, and we are walking our way through the Bible, reading our way through Proverbs, digging in deep into the book of First Corinthians, and as always, putting on the whole armor of God. Hope everyone had a great day yesterday. I pray that you are looking forward to today and all that it has in store for us. And let's take a quick look at birthday shout outs. Well, on second thoughts, let's not. I don't have any friends with birthdays today, except those that I said yesterday, and I have removed them. Those birthdays were actually for today. So let's see. Dora. My cousin, Ross. And I'm trying to think of the other fellow's name, and I just can't. But happy birthday to you guys. If it is your birthday out there, happy birthday to you. Let's take a look at what we've got going on today. We have Proverbs chapter 3. It is Thursday, June 3rd, 54 degrees. It's going to be one of those days if I've already skipped the whole month of June. So, June 3rd. And man, soon half the year is going to be gone. So let's do what we need to do and take care of it. Proverbs chapter 3. 1 Corinthians 11, 1 through 34. And as always, Ephesians 6:11, put on the whole armor of God. So each one of us are ready for all that God has in store for us, for what the world has in store for us. And, I was just sitting down a short bit ago and I felt like there was an earthquake. So I don't know if there was one, but all I know is I felt a rumble in one side of the house and I looked there and then it happened on the other side of the house. So I don't know if we've had an earthquake or not. I know that they did have one south of us last night. But this was a pretty good little jolt, so I'm thinking it was, or my mind is just going. And some might just say that. Let's see. Let's remember our friends Curtis, Rex, Danny, Red, Shelley, Nancy, Rosalie, Mayan, and Ashley, and our friends that have passed on, Bill Friend and Weldon Whitehurst, lifting you all up in prayer. And speaking of lifting them up in prayer, one of our friends put out a message last night, and I wanted to share this. This is from Curtis Brown, the prayer request. I am starting my long journey of detoxing off pain medications. Please lift me up in prayer that my pain and anxiety will continue to reside, and my nerves and brain stem continue to heal. You are loved dearly, and your prayers are truly cherished. Love and prayers, Curtis. Now, Curtis Brown is somebody that I have known since he and I were youngsters. But he's a few years younger than me. And Curtis is an Army vet who had some severe injuries when he was in the military, fighting in Desert Storm, and became addicted to drugs, addicted to painkillers through his injuries. And he battled it for a long time and fought through it, and he gives all his recovery to the grace of God that he was able to get through this, to help save his marriage, to fight through the demons that he was battling because of all the medications that he was taking. And So Curtis, we are praying for you, and just want you to know that. And God bless you, and love you, man. And Curtis has started a foundation that helps others recover from their drug addictions and whatever ails the veterans. He is working to help them. So he has done a terrific job, and he's in the midst of writing his second book, and he is just an awesome guy. Let's see who we've got here today. And I have heard from a couple different people that they're not getting notifications from Facebook, and I do not know what to do. I don't know if there's a setting that I can hit, if somebody knows what we can do to try and recover from this, but they're saying they're no longer getting notifications. I have no idea. I haven't changed anything. I certainly haven't deleted anyone from this group. So, and you can find me on Facebook under Charles Coachman, or you can find me under what do we got it listed under? Readings from the Holy Bible. You can find that under a page that I have. So it is there, and I'm finding them there, but notifications aren't going out for some reason. Okay. Frunknell, good evening to you. Thank you for being here. Good morning and happy Thursday to all. Blessings to all. Scott Ricard, good morning, Charles and all. Scott, good morning to you. Glad that you are here. Frunknell, good morning, Scott. Keith Landris, good morning, sir. I'm glad that you are here, Keith. I hope that you are doing well. Kathy Schertz Carvajal, building those muscles. I look so forward to these morning readings. Have a great day, everyone. Kathy, I look forward to having you here, and I am grateful for that. Hey, my friend Larry Schneider, good morning to you, Larry. Hope you are doing well. I'm so glad to see you. And good evening, Frunknell and Dave Schertz. Good morning, all. Dave, we are glad to have you here. We are truly glad to have you here. Good morning, Hilda Ramirez. How are you doing? Good morning. So glad that you are here, Hilda. So great to see you. And Diane Cazares. Hey, hers. Good morning, everyone. Diane, I hope that you are doing well this morning, and that husband of yours is resting up. Kevin M. Fitzgerald, blessings, everybody. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning to you. And then good morning, everyone. Gloria, good morning. Thank you for being here. My notifications are working, but I just set mine to come back on, so maybe unclick, then re-click to activate it. I have no idea. I have noticed that I am not getting notifications for other groups, but I just go out and find them. And it's not that I spend a lot of time trying to find different groups, but I sure like everyone being here for this. All right. And that's a great thought, Kathy. Take a look. I just know that I haven't shut off any notifications or stopped anything. All right, let's pop in to Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3. See if I can find Proverbs after all this time. The rewards of wisdom. My son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For the length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you. Do not let kindness and truth leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart, so you will find favor and good repute in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It is the healing to your body and refreshment to your bones. Honor the Lord from your wealth and from the first of all your produce. So your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. My son, do not reject the discipline of the Lord or loathe his reproof. For whom the Lord reproves, for whom the Lord loves, he reproves, even as a father corrects the son in whom he delights. How blessed is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding. For her profit is better than the profits of silver, and her gain better than fine gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire compares with her. Long life in her right hand, and her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who hold her fast. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps were broken up and the skies drip with dew. My son, let them not vanish from your sight. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so they will be life to your soul and adornment to your neck. Then you will walk in your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden fear, nor of the onslaught of the wicked when it comes. For the Lord will be your confidence, and I will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it to you. When you have it with you, do not devise harm against your neighbor when he lives securely beside you. Do not contend with a man without cause if he has done you no harm. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. For the devious are an abomination to the Lord, but he is intimate with the upright. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. Though he scoffs at the scoffers, yet he gives grace to the afflicted. The wise will inherit honor, but fools display dishonor. Here it is. This is what we've been talking about all along for 8 months now, going through this, seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, discussing it. And it is right here for us. My son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For the length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you. Do not let kindness and truth leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart, so you will find favor and good repute in the sight of God and man. And let's talk about wisdom. How blessed is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding. For her profit is better than the profit of silver, and her gain better than fine gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire compares with her. Seek wisdom, seek knowledge and understanding. That's what God wants for each of us. And it's within us to make that choice, to do that. We have a voice that's telling us to seek that. But yet, a lot of times we take the wrong path. And that is that freedom of choice that God gives us. And we pay for it. Want to turn to 1 Corinthians. We're going to go through chapter 11. Now, this might stir some emotions. So it's thought-provoking study. It's taking a look back, and it's going to talk about women in church. And it's going to talk about long hair versus short hair. But from the commentaries that I'm reading, there was a reason for it because of tradition. And it also says we have to take a look at what we're doing now. What are our churches allowing? Even though we are not to conform to the world around us, how have our churches changed over the years? And we got to take a look at it. And we have to understand it. It is something good to think about. That's the first part. Then we'll get into the second part of the Lord's Supper. Christian order. Be imitators of me. Now, this is Paul speaking. Be imitators of me, just as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you because you remember me in everything and hold firmly to the traditions just as I delivered them to you. But I want you to understand that Christ is the head of every man, and the man is the head of a woman, and God is the head of Christ. Every man who has something on his head while praying or prophesying disgraces his head. But every woman who has her head uncovered while praying or prophesying disgraces her head, for she is one and the same as the woman whose head is shaved. For if a woman does not cover her head, let her also have her hair cut off. But if it is disgraceful for a woman to have her hair cut off and her head shaved, let her cover her head. For a man ought not to have his head covered, since he is the image and glory of God, but woman is the glory of man. For man does not originate from woman, but woman from man. For indeed man was not created for woman's sake, but woman for the man's sake. Therefore the woman ought to have a symbol of authority on her head because of the angels. However, in the Lord, neither is the woman independent of the man, nor is the man independent of the woman. For as the woman originates from the man, the man has his birth through the woman, and all things originate from God. Judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to pray to God with her head uncovered? Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a dishonor to him? But if a woman has long hair, it is glory to her, for her hair is given to her for a covering. But if one is inclined to be contentious, we have no other practice, nor have the churches of God. But in giving this instruction, I do not praise you because you come together not for the better, but for the worse. For in the first place, when you come together as a church, I hear that divisions exist among you, and in part I believe it. For there must also be factions among you, so that those who are approved may become evident among you. Therefore, when you meet together, it is not to eat the Lord's Supper, for in your eating, each one takes his own table first, and one is hungry and another is drunk. What? Do you not have houses in which to eat and drink? Or do you despise the church of God and shame those who have nothing? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you? In this I will not praise you. We'll go on to discuss that. The Lord's Supper. For I received from the Lord, which I also delivered to you, that the Lord Jesus, in the night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he broke and said, "This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, he took the cup also after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink the cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. Therefore, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. But a man must examine himself, and in doing so, he is to eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For he who eats and drinks judgment to himself if he does not judge the body rightly. For this reason, many among you are weak and sick, and a number sleep. But if we judged ourselves rightly, we would not be judged. But when we are judged, we are disciplined by the Lord, so that we will not be condemned along with the world. So then, my brethren, when you come together to eat, wait for one another. If anyone is hungry, let him eat at home, so that you will not come together for judgment. The remaining matters I will arrange when I come. Okay, so the first part, talking about woman's hair. Let's check up here real quick. Hi, Charles and all. Thomas is here from Sweden. Thomas, thank you for joining us. Love it, man. And we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you again, Tom, for being here. Genesis 2:18 is not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what we were talking about were the traditions of church, from the Jewish church into the Jewish synagogues, into the new Christian churches, and for those that had their services that were not part of the Christian community, there were things that they saw as right. And a woman having her hair covered and was praying, that they saw as right. This was part of tradition. But now in the church in Corinth, they were seeing ladies come in with their hair not being covered, not up, but hung down, and they said that this is not right. This is a woman who has been condemned. This is a woman who is possibly a prostitute. And they said, this is not what we want to see in church. And this is what Paul was talking about. And he was saying, hey, if you don't want to have your head covered, then cut your hair off, shave your head, which was also shame. So this was something that they went through, and it was part of tradition. Now, I still see women in church that will wear a hat or have their hairs covered, but they weren't there. In the churches that I've been to, they're not wearing a veil, and they're not wearing a covering on their head so that people do not see their hair. Those things have changed. But the idea was that, you know what? This was in reverence to God. It wasn't in reverence to their husband. It was in reverence to God. And I can understand that. But the commentary that I'm also reading is, as our churches have changed over the years, we have to take it upon ourselves. Is this what we want to follow? And each church, you will look around and you will see, are there some who have their hairs covered? Some do, some don't, most don't. Now we'll go to some other religions and they'll have their heads covered, but they'll also have their heads covered as they did traditionally from thousands of years ago. So we have to make up our minds on what we want to do with that. And it's up to each person. But at this time, Paul was saying, hey, this is what is right. And we're doing it because this is the order of things. And he's laying out exactly what it is. But he's also letting men know that, you know what? Women are still equal to you. Although you are first and the woman came from you, you also come from the woman. So make sure that you understand that. Second part is the Lord's Supper. And during these times at church, they would have a feast. When they were going to do the Lord's Supper, they would have a feast. But what they were seeing and what they were hearing was the wealthy would come in, bring a lot of food, and then just gorge themselves. And then the poor would come in and they would still walk away hungry. And Paul was saying, if you cannot share with the others what you are bringing in, eat at home. Eat at home. Don't come and gorge yourself in front of everyone else if you are not going to be sharing. He's given them the thoughts. But what this is about, though, is in reverence to this time. And it's what we have heard since the time that we've become Christians. And if we are taking the cup, for I received from the Lord that which I delivered to you, that the Lord Jesus, in the night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, "This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, he took the cup also at supper, saying, "This is the cup, is the new covenant in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. Therefore, whoever eats the bread and drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner shall be guilty of the body and the blood of Christ." And let's just read this. "But a man must examine himself, and in doing so, and in doing, he is to eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For he who eats and drinks judgment to himself, if he does not judge the body rightly. For this reason, many among you are weak and sick, and a number of you sleep. But if we judged ourselves rightly, we would not be judged. But when we are judged, we are disciplined by the Lord, so that we will not be condemned along with the world." What he was saying was, we are being given the cup. We are being given the bread. At this time when we are doing it, we should be contemplating. We should be asking for forgiveness. We should be thinking about the things that we are doing in our lives. We should be taking in and understanding what this bread and what this wine or grape juice means to us. What it means with Christ going to the cross, what it meant for him to take on all the sin of us, from the world before till now and to the future. He took it all on us, and he is saying, "This is my body and this is my blood." Be understanding of that. It's not a party. Be contemplative and understand that he has done this for us. Hey, good morning, Ken. Good to see you, man. So glad that you were here. So thank you, everybody, for being here. If you would like to share this out, please do. Tomorrow's the day that we open this up and we allow others to read through, and I'd love it if you'd like to join us. And I will send out links to go ahead and share and join us. And if you want to join us and you would like to read, send me a request. Just let me know on Messenger, and I'd be glad to allow you to do that. And we have a good time just reading and sharing. So have a wonderful day. If you have an opportunity to give somebody a hand, reach out and do it. If somebody just needs a good word, be that good word for them. Have an awesome day. If you'd like to join us tomorrow, we are going to continue our walk through the Bible, reading through Proverbs, digging in deep into the book of 1 Corinthians, and as always, putting on the whole armor of God. Have a wonderful day. God bless you all. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.